Alright Guardians, buckle up, because today we are about to break the game in the best way possible. Welcome back to Insightful Gaming, where we turn great builds into absolute monsters. And the one we're talking about today? Oh, it's disgusting. In the good way. We're taking the Solipsism Exotic, stacking Spirit of Inmost Light with Spirit of the Swarm, and plugging it into a prismatic subclass setup that will make you feel like the walking embodiment of chaos. You're going to be spawning so many Threadlings that you'll lose count, melting entire rooms before enemies even realize you've started firing. Your ability rotation is lightning fast. Your survivability is off the charts. And the best part? This setup works in any PvE content, from casual seasonal runs to high-end Grandmasters. And when we start layering in our weapons, you'll be triggering both Solar and Strand buffs and debuffs like it's second nature. This is a room clearing, boss melting, unkillable machine of a build. And hey, if builds like this get you hyped, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next game-breaking setup we drop. Trust me, you'll want to be here for it. Let's dive in. Now that you know what this build can do, let's talk about the heart of it, our exotic choice, Solipsism. This prismatic exclusive class item lets you combine two perks from other Warlock Exotics. And here, we're going with Spirit of Inmost Light and Spirit of the Swarm. Spirit of Inmost Light gives you a constant ability feedback loop. Use one ability, and the other two get a big regeneration boost, letting you cycle through your kit at breakneck speed. Then, Spirit of the Swarm takes every tangle you destroy and turns it into a Threadling army, swarming enemies while you keep the ability spam rolling. Together, these perks make you an unstoppable PvE force. Abilities always ready, adds constantly shredded, and every encounter feeling like you're in total control. To supercharge this Solipsism prismatic setup, we're running a weapon trio that keeps the elemental synergy flowing and maximizes both ad clear and boss DPS. First up is the Yeartide Apex SMG, a precision monster that comes with Incandescent and Heal Clip. Incandescent spreads Scorch to nearby enemies on kills, feeding into our solar side for easy ignitions, while Heal Clip gives you instant healing and restoration after reloading following a kill, perfect for keeping your survivability sky high in endgame PvE. For our special weapon, we've got the Festival Flight Grenade Launcher, which rolls with Hatchling and Ambitious Assassin. Hatchling is key here, spawning Threadlings on precision final blows or rapid kills, doubling down on our Spirit of the Swarm synergy. Meanwhile, Ambitious Assassin overfills the mag after rapid kills, letting you keep chaining those Threadling spawning shots without constant reload interruptions. Finally, anchoring the build is the heavy hitter, Finality's Augur. This thing excels at melting bosses and high health targets while benefiting from all the buffs and debuffs we're stacking through Prismatic. It's not just raw damage, you can weave it into your ability rotations so you're never wasting uptime. Together, this loadout lets you juggle Solar and Strand effects seamlessly. Ignitions, Threadlings, and ability spam all playing off each other so every slot in your arsenal feels essential. For this build, we're taking full advantage of Prismatic's cross-element synergy to keep abilities rolling and damage flowing. Phoenix Dive is our class ability, giving instant healing and a fast reposition. And when paired with Song of Flame, it becomes both an offensive and defensive powerhouse, turning you into a walking scorch generator that shreds through waves while restoring health. Our melee is Arcane Needle, a precision-ranged strike that applies Unravel, setting up darkness debuffs for our light abilities to exploit. The Threadling Grenade ties it all together, flooding the battlefield with skittering allies that clean up stragglers and keep pressure on bosses. For aspects, Feed the Void grants Devour on ability kills, ensuring near constant healing and grenade uptime, while Weaver's Call sends out Threadlings every time you drop a rift, making even your defensive plays lethal. On the Fragment side, we've optimized for ability uptime, survivability, and elemental crossfire. Facet of Dawn gives Radiant on powered Arcane Needle hits and Team Radiant on melee final blows, boosting weapon damage and providing anti-barrier utility. Facet of Hope accelerates class ability regeneration whenever you have an elemental buff active, like Radiant, Devour, or Restoration. Facet of Balance feeds melee energy from light kills and grenade energy from darkness kills, keeping both Arcane Needle and Threadling Grenade on tap. Facet of Protection grants flat damage resistance when surrounded, which stacks with other DR sources for incredible survivability. Finally, we have Facet of Sacrifice for faster Darkness Transcendence energy. Let's quickly cover how to set up your stats. First, max out Grenade, 150 to 170, for faster Threadling Grenade cooldowns and increasing grenade damage. Next, invest into weapons with over 100 points for snappier handling, better ammo economy, and up to plus 15% weapon damage. Finally, push class over 100 to cut Phoenix dive cooldowns and gain strong overshields on cast, keeping you alive while spawning Threadlings. With stats set, we'll lock in a single, orb-powered armor charge and font plan that keeps your ability engine roaring without accidental charge drains. On the helmet, run Harmonic Siphon for easy orbs from Solar and Strand multi-kills and Super Font to boost the super stat, while you have Armor Charge and Heavy Ammo Finder for Finality's Augur uptime. On the arms, anchor 2 grenade font mods so your grenade stat is passively juiced whenever you're charged, and pair it with a melee font. For the chest, simply equip defensive mods based on the activity need, such as Concussive Dampener or Solar and Strand Resist. On the legs, keep the orb economy flowing with Innovation for grenade energy on Orb Pickup and Recuperation for health on Orby Pickup, and stacks on stacks for bonus armor charge per orb, so your fonts stay active longer. Finally, on the class item, pair class font to buff your class stat while charged, and Bomber for grenade energy on Phoenix Dive and Time Dilation to extend the decay timer on armor charge for near constant uptime. With our core build locked in, the final layer of power comes from this season's Implement of Curiosity artifact, which offers several Solar and Strand perks that slot perfectly into our Prismatic loop. From column 2, start with Flame, Fiber, and Freeze to combine Solar and Strand siphons into one slot for constant orb generation. Then take Tightly Woven to gain increased super and grenade stats whenever Woven Mail is active. Perfect for faster Phoenix Dive and Threadling grenade cycles if you or your team can consistently trigger mail. From column 3, grab Fever and Chill so rapid precision hits with Solar weapons grant Radiant, extending your damage buffs and weapon uptime, and Elemental Benevolence to grant class ability energy whenever you give allies an elemental buff, which pairs perfectly with Phoenix Dive's healing and Radiant procs. From column 4, slot Threaded Blast so every tangle you destroy hits in a larger radius with more damage, and Cauterized Darkness so Strand debuffed enemies take more Solar damage, directly amplifying Song of Flame, Incandescent Chains, and Radiant Shrapnel projectiles. From column 5, finish with Radiant Shrapnel to unleash Solar projectiles when Radiant or killing Scorched targets for devastating ad clear and Shield Crush. So when you have Woven Mail, you gain faster melee recharge and more melee damage, feeding Arcane Needle uptime. Or when Radiant, you gain faster grenade recharge and more grenade damage, boosting Threadling grenade output. And that's the full package. Solipsism with Spirit of Inmost Light and Spirit of the Swarm, backed by a prismatic setup that floods the field with Threadlings, keeps every ability on near-instant cooldown, and layers Solar and Strand effects for both crowd control and raw damage. If this build guide helped you break the game in style, drop a like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another meta-defining setup from Insightful Gaming. And as always, get out there, melt those enemies, and I'll see you in the next one.